Mills Syrup Garage. The Remington Scoremaster 511X. This is a member in good standing in the Remington 500 series of 22 rimfire rifles. It's a bolt action, box magazine fed 22 short, long, or long rifle chambered rifle, sporting a 25-inch barrel, a 6-round detachable box mag, and a grooved receiver ready for a scope mount. These were made from 1939 to 1967 in several configurations. So the later models, 65, 6, and 7, might have been like a parts cleanup. Remington was famous for that. Production might have stopped somewhere around the mid-60s, 64, 65, let's say. As far as the configurations, we had a 511A, which was your standard version with step adjustable iron sights. There was a 511P that had a Patridge type blade front sight and a point chrometer, which is what they called it, peep rear sight. The 511SB was the smooth bore garden gun that shot the 22 long rifle shot cartridges. And our 511X, equipped with what they called improved sights. This 511X was only produced for 1 or 2 years at the end of production. And this example was made in May of 1964 using Remington's barrel date codes. Barrel date code decoder chart. Just make a ring out of that. Have a Remington decoder ring. So the 500 series, what is the 500 series? Just because it has a 500 in the model number does not mean it's part of their 500 series. The 500 series consisted of the Model 510, which was the Target Master. This was a single shot bolt action. You had the Model 511 right here, the Scoremaster, 6-round box mag bolt action. There was the Model 512, the Sportmaster. It had a tube mag, and that tube mag held 22, 17, and 15 capacity for long rifle, long and short. Again, bolt action. These were all bolt action here, this 500 series. The Model 513, the Matchmaster. This was a 6-round box mag as well. However, Redfield front and rear sights. Nice beefy stock. This was like a Target version. So these were also nicknamed. Bunch of nicknames. You hear the honeycomb guns, beehive rifles. It was all because of this shape back here, the rear of the bolt. Why they got that name. If you saw that back there, you knew you were dealing with one of these official 500 series. So there are patents here for these, of course. The patents are from famed Remington designer Crawford C. Loomis, with patent numbers US 1908035 and 1913840. These are both granted in 1933. And there was also a Kenneth J. Lowe patent that was pertinent to these That was US 2, 356, 257. This one was filed in 39. It seems to take a bunch of years for some reason before that one actually got granted. So this design, although it's from the 30s, it was a move towards a more cost-effective production design process from Remington. You know, you wouldn't expect that in the 30s. That people would talk about, oh, they don't build them like they did back then. But even in the 30s, things were progressing to a, like, if you had a cheaper production or a more cost-effective production, you could sell the rifles for less and beat out your competition. That was the goal even back then. So this production design process from Remington was interesting. The barrel and the receiver were made from a seamless piece of drawn steel tubing. Wasn't a milled receiver, what we'd be used to in stuff from back then. So this saved on production costs. And even so, even saving on production costs, these were far from cheap. These rifles had such high-end features as dual locking cams, dual locking lugs, dual extractors, a cocking indicator at the rear of the beehive, and an adjustable stop on the trigger for the target models. I believe that was only on the target models, the adjustable trigger. These design cues with this drawn steel tubing were heavily borrowed by other manufacturers through the years, as these 500 series rifles were a huge success for Remington. And everybody paid attention. And they were a big part of the picture as to their post-war success. These things made Remington, you know? And that success in selling sporting rifles was directly attributed to these successes here in these 22s, this 500 series specifically. So this 500 series of Remington rifles are no strangers to us here at the Millsap Garage. We've featured a few and have some here that are going to visit with us. Okay, so let's first take a look at our Matchmaster 513S. This has a 27-inch barrel. All of the other 500 series, they're 25-inch barrels. This is a longer target model. So this S designation, this is an interesting rifle that the S designation for Sporter equipped it with a non-target barrel. So it didn't have the heavy barrel. It has open sights. This thing is a beauty. It's a pretty uncommon variant. It's basically that they took a target model and turned it into a sporting model. But that 27-inch barrel, I always thought that was interesting. They don't all have that. We also have visiting with us our 521 TL Junior, which is also a target model. This one, a scaled down version made with a stock size and weight, as opposed to the larger and heavier target models. This one has a beautiful Lyman front and rear aperture sight. And this one is a favorite here. Last guest is a Remington 514, which interestingly, despite its name, it is not a true 500 series alumni. You see no beehive back here. It is part of the group of rifles made when the true 500 series was laid to rest for a cheaper to produce design. This 514 is a single shot and shows the evolution of the single shot model 510. This is a 1958 model. And this is where they started moving. It's interesting to just examine this design. Might not seem that much different, but there is a different patent here even. I mean, don't get me wrong. These are excellent rifles, and it's just interesting to examine the progression forward. P.B. Rutherford and K.J. Lowe with patent number US 2490922 for the safety at the rear of the bolt back here. And some other changes. But interesting to see the total progression. So let's take a closer look at the 511X here. The rear sight is going to look a bit unusual to you. Might not have seen one that looked exactly like that on a Remington. We're adjustable here for height and right here for windage. We did see this on one other Remington, I remember. But that's what the X was standing for, was just upgraded sights. That's an interesting front sight for a 500 series Remington. You don't see that every day. And that's what this variation brought to the table. You could see the cocking indicator back here. Just remember, it's not a loaded chamber indicator. It's just a cocking indicator. They painted it red. I'll decock it here so you can see sticking out of the beehive. If it's not charged, you got nothing. And then it charges on the lifting of the bolt. It will charge the action. So what makes them close so nice and buttery smooth is that you're not charging it on closing, you're charging it on opening. Let's take a look at the mag that we got down here. These mags are marked Remington. We've seen these before. These are 6-rounders. Let's get out our, let's load them up with our realistic snap caps. Don't forget, you got to use inert rounds when you're playing around with check and function. And these things are perfect for that. Look at them. You're definitely going to find out you don't want to be using plastic or, wall anchors I've seen somebody use. Then when you get to actually using it with real rounds, it doesn't work. And you kind of wish that you were firing wall anchors. By the way, sometimes I forget to mention, if you go to the website here and you pick up some of these guys, because I highly recommend them. They're awesome. These realistic snap caps. You get 10% on your order with coupon code MilSerpGarage. One word. Nice of them, right? So these guys load real nice and easy. They chamber real nice and easy. And I don't want to drop firing pins on these, but look, when's the last time you've seen a 22 just literally that compliant and lovely, right? I mean, no fighting with this thing. It's totally working alongside you. It loves you. It's awesome. And I got so many of these now from like these different rifles. If you had taken one to the range, you could just pull mags out of all of them. I've interchanged these mags, and they do interchange well. But when you're settling back at home again and putting everything back together, it's a good idea to somehow mark these or know where it was that they came from, so that you could always put them back into the home base rifle, let's say. So, although the other 500 series examples I showed, the 513S and the 521 TL Junior, they were fringe oddballs in the family. This 511X is a bread and butter, right down the middle workhorse. bolt action, box mag, stock configuration, but upgraded with these easy to adjust and use sights. I love how it shoots and feels. Nice groupings right here. Super high quality, legendary looks. Gotta love it. Yep. I will pick up any versions of these 500 series that are a decent price at the drop of a hat. I'll look for one of the 510 single shotters. I'd grab one of those if I saw it. They're just classic and super functional. And I have a lot of fun with them at the range. So you all take care, and I'll see you all next time.